Alex, back to sports. Time to grab a wad of that big league chew.
Yes, John. Some big milestones the last week in baseball, and of course, no one saw Albert Pujols join the 700 home run club because baseball put that game on Apple TV.
Oh, wait, actually, I watched the highlights, but that
That
is
was an Apple TV
ridiculous.
game because
You're
people
gonna make
there
that
was a
fucking
chance
premium.
There's a chance Aaron Judge could either tie or pass Maris, and Albert Pujols joining this because he had 698 going into that game, and they could have
Yeah.
both of those potentially could have happened on Apple TV, and Albert Pujols did. So
Well,
no
I
one
mean,
saw
I,
it.
I don't know how it was broadcasted in the US, but the good news is when Aaron Judge tied Maris, here in Canada, it was on, since it was against the Jays, it was on cable. But
Yeah,
positives for that. But anyway, we'll touch on the first one. Albert Pujols, 701 home runs. He is the fourth member of the 700 club. I mean, congratulations, Albert Pujols.
I wanted this one more than I wanted Aaron Judge. I mean, Aaron Judge is great, don't get me wrong, but seeing a guy get into the 700 home run club.
I mean, there's only four who have ever done it in the history of this game, and one of them took a shitload of steroids. Shout out Barry Bonds.
Yes.
This is just it's remarkable, man. And to see the journey that Albert Pujols has gone on to get here, it's been crazy. The best,
Like you thought he was pretty washed up with those years in Anaheim. I think he had a good first year after he signed that mega deal, but then he did not live up to that contract, and you thought he was just kind of gonna fade off into the distance.
There was a fair argument that he almost I think he almost tanked his WAR from some of his years on the Angels. I think he only had one All-Star year.
He was a lifetime 300 hitter before he signed that Angels contract, and I think now his lifetime average is something 290 something. But so yeah, that cost him some.
It costed him some legacy points,
real productive years. Yeah.
Well, maybe not legacy points, some production points.
No, but, I mean, no, he's the best right-handed hitter maybe that I've ever seen for sure, and he might be the best right-handed hitter of all time.
No, exactly. That's why I said maybe not legacy points, but just some production points, some maybe finer stamps that would have made him a definitive best player ever. But either way,
maybe Henry Aaron, Willie Mays, but that's it. That's what you're talking on the right hand.
Exactly, and he's already just into that tier too, and I think I think he's going to be a unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, we haven't had many of those, but
Mariano Rivera is the only unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer, and Ken Griffey Jr. One idiot left Ken Griffey Jr. What are we doing?
This is why they need to make these things public. But hopefully, Albert Pujols becomes our second unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer. But that's
Absolutely.
a voters. Alex, it's a voter question.
Yep. And so, John, also the other big milestone we hit, Aaron Judge ties Roger Maris's American League record of 61 home runs. How do you feel about this one, John? Are you of like mind with some people who think that Roger Maris is still a legitimate single season home run king, and that Aaron Judge bypassing him would take that mantle?
I'm an asterisk guy. So what I mean by that is I don't think I think we can call Aaron Judge the home run king if he gets the 62, but we still must acknowledge that people have hit 70 and have hit more than that.
Sammy Sosa
60,
technically
he hit 66, right?
Yeah, Sammy Sosa is the only player to hit 60 home runs 3 times, and so I think all 3 years he passed Maris that he did that.
Exactly, and well, I think he might have had 61 year, but either way, it's I think we still need to acknowledge these guys, even though they did steroids. And if we're gonna do this whole thing with Bonds, whatever, we'll just put fucking asterisks on all of them.
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing with the Barry Bonds is that when you have Tony La Russa and the owner of the White Sox and Bulls, Jerry Reinsdorf, and they sit on one of these veterans committees, and because they both really, really liked Harold Baines, we got to get Harold Baines into the Hall of Fame. That completely just eroded the credibility of that institution. So no, let Bonds and let Clemens in. You have Harold Baines in the Hall of Fame, and you're not going to have Barry Bonds.
There's a lot of tough ones too. Another one that everyone brings up, even though he was the pitcher of the 80s or whatever, is Jack Morris too. It's if you're gonna go with all these guys, you have to let the steroid guys in to a degree, and it's
right. And a lot of these guys that played in the 70s, again, they were using greenies, which that was
it's not like
it was
dude,
meth in a pill.
Alex, like a lot of famous coaches were, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
true. It's true.
Uh, Alex, let's
And
move on to this week in social media. Um, Really, sometimes life moves too fast, so we got to slow it down, see what's happening on social media. Alex, what has caught your eye this week?
so we'll stick with the baseball theme here, John. A tip of the hat to the Seattle Mariners, John, because last
Why?
night with a walk-off home run by their catcher, Cal Raleigh, they clinched their first postseason berth since 2001. And of course, that was
Golf
the
clap.
year that they set the single season record for wins that year. It was 116. That Mariners team, 116 and 46. And they haven't been back since. They were in the wild card hunt. I think it was either 02 or 03, but they really haven't been close. They really
No,
haven't
no,
been
no.
close since last
That
year. Last year they made a late season push, but I think outside of that they didn't get,
the the
they had Felix
last
Hernandez in there. They had some good players come through there, and
Alex, the
they never
last
put it
time they
together.
made the playoffs, Ichiro was rookie of the year
And MVP.
and MVP. Yes.
Him and Freddie Lynn, only two.
Oh, Alex, for my shout out, I got one that I think is near and dear to your heart. We have Bill Belichick running through the injury report as he does. His exact quote on his quarterback Mac Jones's ankle injury: "What do I look like? A doctor? An orthopedic surgeon? He's day by day."
Yeah. Not a doctor. Coach Belichick, your quarterback was pronounced dead on the field. He doesn't have a pulse. Did you care to comment? Yeah. We'll see when the injury report comes out on Wednesday. We'll take it day by day, and until then. So it's it's like on one hand, like it is funny that he's just so committed to saying nothing. On the other hand, like your team sucks. So
Honestly, the only thing that would have been better with this if he was just like lower body injury.
yeah, it's lower body today. So I like this act is it's fine when you're winning, but
it can get old quick. I get it.
Yeah, the media just kind of has to like sit there and take it. But when you suck, the media isn't exactly going to be rushing to your defense when things go south, and they're headed south pretty fast in Foxborough.
Oof. It's all right, Alex. We can still rely on Bill's comedy for some levity, but I mean, I get where your
He's got
panic
maybe
comes
another
in.
year if this keeps up.
Hey, Father Time is undefeated, my friend, and it's about time Bill gets a knockout. So, I mean, on him.